If you are a woman over 50 who's serious about wanting to lose weight, not just for the short term, but for the long term, and make it a long-term sort of lifestyle habit that you stay within a healthy weight range, then this may well be the most important video you watch this year, because I'm about to share with you 6 things that I've shared with my clients, like Gaynor, that helped her to lose over 80 pounds and completely transform her health, expand her wardrobe, improve her yoga, do a photo shoot. Another client of mine, Sue, lost 71 pounds, was able to again, wear fantastic clothes, did a Kilimanjaro challenge. Or Marie, who again did a photo shoot, lost over 50 pounds when she thought at the age of 50 it was all over. These women did incredibly well, not because they are some sort of superstar women. They're regular women just like you, who had a goal, had a desire, had past failures, and they were looking for something that was down to earth, real, practical, something that they could implement into their lives. So I'm going to be sharing with you these 6 things that I shared with those 3 women and many others over the years. Now I've got some notes here that I'm going to be using just to keep me on track and also on screen. So have a pen and paper handy so you can write this information down and start to implement it. And before we dive into what the 6 things are, just to make you aware, below this video there's a link to my free online Boost Weight Loss Assessment, which you can take, answer a few questions, takes you less than 3 minutes, and you'll get back a full-blown report that will talk about or will help you to kickstart your mindset, your diet and your exercise. So you can click on that at the end of this video. So let's dive into what the first of these 6 things are that are going to make a big difference in terms of helping you to lose weight and transform your life. So number 1 is consistency. You have to decide in your head that you are going to be consistent with this. Now, I know you may not have a plan yet in terms of, okay, what am I going to be consistent with? But you have to decide in your head that you are going to adopt a mindset of consistency with whatever it is you get involved in, because that provides you with the foundation. You can have the best diet in the world, you can have the best exercise plan in the world, you can have all those wonderful things, but if you're not able to be consistent, nothing really matters. I'd much rather you were consistent and just doing averagely good, but consistent with that, rather than being fantastic for a whole week and then crap for the rest of the month. You're better off just being averagely consistent and doing that over and over and over again. That is going to be the foundation to your success. So if you don't want to listen to the other 5 things, just take that one thing away from this video, switch off and go and run with that, and you'll become successful by being consistent with the right plan. So that's number 1. Number 2 is have a goal. Now, I'm not talking about one of these goals where you just say, I want to lose some weight. To me, that's not just good. It's not good enough. It has to be a very specific goal. And what I'd recommend you do is actually not just write the goal down, but draw the goal. Have an actual picture that you draw, a central image with you wearing an outfit possibly, with the weight below it that you want to be your ideal weight. And then branching off from that, I would have other pictures like, where are you? Are you on holiday? Are you at an event wearing this particular outfit? Who's there? Is it family? Is it friends? Do little pictures. How do you feel? Can you smell anything in particular? Let's say you're at a lovely beach and you can smell, palm trees. How do you feel? Maybe do a little picture of you punching the air, saying you feel fantastic. So having a goal that's been written down, that's visual, is going to connect with your emotional energy storehouse. Just saying, I want to lose weight, that's not going to do the trick. And here's why it won't do the trick. Because when you're faced with making choices between picking a healthy meal or picking the stuff that takes you off course, if you don't have a good enough reason, i.e. a good enough goal, something that's exciting, you're always going to go for the easier option, the crap food. Whereas if you have a really well-defined goal, something that you're connected to, it's going to work on a subconscious level and it's going to direct you towards doing the right things for achieving that goal. So that's number 2. Have a goal, draw it out, make it visual, use colour as well, and a bit of humour. Number 3 is to have your diet dialed in. Now, what do I mean by that? You need to have a starting point for your diet. Now, I'm not one of these people that believes in just going with intuitive eating. Yes, intuitive eating works well when you know how to eat healthily, when you know how much you should be eating in order to bring about weight loss. Just to say do intuitive eating is like saying to, a complete beginner that's never driven a car before, giving somebody a set of keys and saying, hey, just drive that car intuitively. It's not a good idea. You want to take some lessons. Once you've had a few lessons, once you've passed your test, then you can drive a bit more intuitively, because guess what? You know how to do it. You've got the skill. So when it comes to diet, what I recommend you do is take your goal weight. Let's say your goal weight is 10 stone as an example. Convert that into pounds. So there's 140 pounds in 10 stone. Multiply that by 12. That will give you 1,680 calories as your starting point. Now you may be thinking, hang on Eric, that's a lot of calories. Well, the chances are you're probably eating more than that right now anyway. So use it as a potential starting point. So whatever your target weight is, turn it into pounds, multiply it by 12, use that as your starting point. Run with that for a week. After a week, if you see the weight coming off, you can probably stick with that for at least, I would say 12 weeks, if not longer. So that's your diet, but you have to be prepared to address your diet. You can't just leave it to chance. If you leave it to chance, I guarantee you're not going to get to where you want to get to. Okay, number 4 is exercise. Now, specifically when it comes to exercise, something that a lot of women miss out on when it comes to exercise is weight training. And weight training is not just good for helping with weight loss in terms of boosting your metabolism. There are other benefits. Improving your bone density. Huge problem for many women now. Sarcopenia, which is loss of muscle. So once we go past the age of 30, we start losing a certain percentage of our muscle. And as we lose that muscle, guess what? Our metabolism starts to slow down. So it's no wonder once we get past the age of 50, in fact, past the age of, say, 30, 40, we suddenly start thinking, hang on, I'm eating the same food that I ate back in my 20s, but my waistline's expanding. And it certainly happened to me. You know, when I got to 40, for me it was a little bit later. I mean, I was quite active anyway. You know, it was my job. I was a physical training instructor in the army. So up until the age of, 40 odd, I was still, doing a lot of physical activity with soldiers. But once I got to 40 and I decreased my activity levels a little bit, I noticed my waistline was expanding. Why? Muscle mass dropping, and also some other factors as well. But that was certainly one of the factors. So you want to start to introduce weight training into your weekly exercise regime. I recommend ideally at least 3 sessions a week. And when you're doing weight training, you want to be working your major muscles. So forget about doing little piddly bicep curls. Forget those. You want to be doing some major exercises like squats that are going to work your thighs, your butt, your inner thighs. Do squats. You want to be doing chest press. It's going to work your chest, the back of your arms. You want to be doing pulling activities. That's going to work your back and your biceps. You want to be doing shoulders, shoulder press. It's going to work your shoulders and the back of your arms and working your core. If you can get weight training introduced into your routine regularly, it's going to boost your metabolism, help with your posture, help with bone density. All these benefits that you're going to get from weight training that a lot of women just don't even realize they can get. It can completely transform your life. So weight training is an integral part and a vital step in terms of helping you to maintain your weight loss once you've achieved it. Number 5 is external accountability. Get another set of eyeballs on what you're doing. Why? Because it's so easy for us to justify taking the actions that we want to take that are going to take us off course. We can justify pretty much anything because we know ourselves better than anybody else. However, because we're so close to trying to achieve the goal, we can forget sometimes some of the successes we've had. We can also start to make some dumbass decisions, which if somebody else was taking a look at it, they could just say, oh, by the way, what about this and what about that and have you thought about? And we suddenly go, oh yeah. And that's why I have a coach within my business, not for weight loss, but for my business. I have a coach because I make dumbass mistakes or I forget stuff. And you're probably the same as well. So the accountability can come from a friend, trusted friend, someone that's not going to be judgmental. It could be a work colleague, again, someone that's not judgmental. It could be from a professional like myself, a coach. But having external accountability, I think, is hugely important for somebody who has never achieved something that they're looking to achieve, like weight loss, if that's your case. And then the 6th thing, which I'm going to talk about, is one which arguably is one of the most important ones, and that is keep it to yourself. Keep your weight loss journey to yourself, because I can guarantee you the second the cat's out of the bag, everybody becomes a judge in terms of what you should be eating, why you're eating that, should you be eating that? And then when you start to lose the weight, it's like, oh, right, you're looking a bit ill. Don't lose any more weight. And sometimes when you get those comments like that, that's coming from people who are a little bit jealous that you are maybe becoming lighter than what they are, possibly. So those are the 6 steps that I think are going to be crucial in terms of helping you to not only lose weight and lose it relatively quickly, but be able to lose it and keep it off and sustain it for as long as you possibly want. Now, on screen now is another video that you may be interested in watching, which is going to take you a little bit deeper in terms of learning some of this stuff. But until then, take good care and hopefully have success with what I've just said. And don't forget that Boost weight loss assessment as well. Link below this video. Click on that and get started today. Bye for now.